Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and it's your host, Mike Spiderslayer. Guys, Road to Comic of the Year. That's right, you're on grouping number two. Last week, if you were familiar with Road to Comic of the Year, it's a video series, for Comic of the Year. So basically, I put up a list of comics. You vote for your favorite comic to see which comic you want to be nominated for Comic of the Year. And last week was the first grouping, and you guys voted, and I got lots of votes, and I appreciate that. So hopefully, I get just as many votes, if not more, for group number two. But before we move on to group number two, let's recap last week's comics and which book is actually going to get nominated for Comic of the Year. So, first grouping, we had Justice League of America, issue number 7, which was this book right here. Did you want that nominated for Comic of the Year? Or did you want Green Arrow, issue number 19, nominated for Comic of the Year? Did you want Batman and Red Hood nominated for Comic of the Year? Or did you want the all controversial Superior Spider-Man, issue number 9? East of West, issue number 1 made a great impression on lots of people. And the Superior Foes of Spider-Man is a great new series. So which one did you guys vote for? Well, first off, the winner of, or the actual comic that's getting nominated for Comic of the Year is none other than Justice League of America issue number 7. That's right, guys. This was a Trinity War tie-in, part 4 of 6. A lot of people made their comments. I am one with the box, and the box is part of me. So this was the issue where Wonder Woman wound up getting control of Pandora's box. So a lot of you guys like this particular issue, and this is officially nominated for Comic of the Year. Now I said there will be a wild card round. That's right. So the book that got second place would be nominated for a wild card round, and then all the wild card books will go in a final round, and then you make a final vote off of that. So the book that came in second place that will be going in the wild card round will be, you said it, folks, the Superior Spider-Man issue number 9. I got a few comments on this one. Really close to Green Arrow number 19. I think one vote separated it. So you guys want to see your favorite comics nominated for Comic of the Year? Please vote. If you want to see him making that wild card, please vote. So there you have it. There's your nomination for Comic of the Year. And there's your wild card that will be put in a separate pile. So, what is grouping number 2? Well, here we go. Group number 2. If you want your comic to be nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote. So the first book that we're going to be talking about is, I don't have a cover for it, I can't find it, but that is Injustice, issue number 1. That's right. Based off of the video game. This got lots of hype when it first came out. This series is just finishing up, or it's coming to a conclusion, but this was the real issue where Superman goes apeshit because Lois, I don't know if it's going to focus, because Lois gets killed and Superman kills the Joker. And when you saw that panel there where Superman actually kills the Joker and puts his hand through him, it was just jaw-dropping. And that's why it got my number 1 comic of that particular week, which was episode number 3 of the countdown. So there's your first book. Next, if you want to see it nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote. And this will be Trillium, issue number 1. And now I did an individual review on this book because I was away, never did a countdown that particular week, but I said this book would be number 1 on my list if it was, and it was. Totally different type of style of book. You get 2 separate stories that come into its own here, and you get the 2 characters that wind up meeting. This is a very interesting book. Jeff Lemire does it, same as did Green Arrow, and it's got interesting artwork, got lots of buzz, lots of people liked it. So this will be your second book, Trillium, issue number 1. The next book that is on the list is another Superior book, which was Superior Spider-Man, issue number 5. We already got a Superior issue nominated for Wildcard, so I don't know if anybody wants to see another Superior book nominated for Comic of the Year. However, this was another controversial issue because this had to do with the death of Massacre, and this was the first time that you saw Superior or a Spider-Man character hold a gun and actually shoot somebody. So I thought this was a very creative way of telling a story, very different. So this is why it got my number 1 pick that particular week, and it was week number 5. If you want to actually see that review, so Superior issue number 5. The next book on the list is Marvel's New Avengers issue number 1. If you want to see that be a nominee for Comic of the Year, please vote for this particular issue. This is when Marvel launched, all the new Avengers titles, and I read this book, and when I read this first issue, I was like, wow, this is good. But just like a lot of the Marvel Now titles, things have fizzled out for me. But I remember when I read this issue, it had to deal with the Illuminati, obviously, and it had Black Panther, and it dealt with this, crazy technology and the Swan, and just the way the issue was done and drawn. I really enjoyed this first issue of Hickman's, run on this particular book, and I know a lot of people did too, and it led into some crazy next issue with Captain America being kicked off the team or whatnot. So this was a great issue when I read it. Out of the books that particular week, this was number 1 on the countdown. So this fell in week or episode number 2 of the countdown. So if you guys want to see this nominated, please vote for it. Next, we have Justice League issue number 23. This book is the Trinity War tie-in, part 6. We have our first nominee of the year, which is Justice League of America, Trinity War. But this issue was something special. This was the end of the Trinity War. It had to do with how the secret society comes and how, Cyborg is the actual traitor and becomes Grid. You get to see the crime syndicate for the first time. So this was a very, very good book, and definitely ended off the Trinity War as like, oh my God, what's going to happen in the DC universe? So this was obviously a number 1 pick for me in week number 26. So if you want to see this nominated for Comic of the Year, again, please vote. And last but not least, we have Daredevil, issue number 25. This was number 1 on the countdown on week 11. This was the issue that had to deal with Ikari, if I can get the issue out. If you remember this one correctly, this is where Matt Murdock totally underestimates his opponent, and he comes across Ikari for the first time right here, and he totally underestimates the character, and Matt Murdock winds up getting the crap beat out of him. And when you get done reading this particular issue, you're like, holy cow, Matt Murdock is scared and he has something to fear. So this was a great issue, one of the best issues I've read all year myself, and this would be a great book to nominate for Comic of the Year. So there you have it, guys. There is grouping number 2, Daredevil, issue number 25, Justice League, issue number 23, New Avengers, issue number 1, Superior Spider-Man, issue number 5, and Trillium number 1, and then, of course, Injustice Gods Among Us, which I took away the image. So there you have it, guys. There's your group number 2 and your first comic book of the year nominee, Justice League of America, issue number 7. So guys, I hope you enjoyed grouping number 2 of Road to the Comic of the Year. And guys, until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I see you guys real soon. Vote, guys. Take care. Bye.